Hello everyone and welcome to another Timeless video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Esper Reanimator in Timeless format. So I took a look at a similar deck to this last time, but this time around something is missing, and that is Satoru the Infiltrator. So I have completely dropped the Satoru entirely because last time I played it, I felt that the card was a bit clunky. Every time I had Reanimate, I just had multiple Satoru stuck in my hand without creatures in the graveyard. The card just kind of required a lot of things to come together. So instead, we have more copies of Psychic Frog because Psychic Frog does exactly what the deck wants to do. Put cards in the yard and get card advantage by attacking with the Psychic Frog. And another card that we're playing instead of Satoru is Diviner of Fates. So I saw some folks playing with Diviner of Fates in their Esper Reanimator, and I think this card is actually just the nuts in this deck. Because not only does this card put cards into the graveyard, which is something that we want, but if you pair it up with Psychic Frog can discard a card every single turn, including your opponent's turn. And that'll allow Diviner of Fates to seek a card every time Psychic Frog discards a card each turn. This only happens once per turn, so just watch out. You do it once on your turn, and you do it on opponent's turn. And getting rid of things like Aatroxa with the Diviner of Fates can also seek something like Grief into your hand, and then you can Grief so that if opponent's holding on to something like a Spell Pierce, you can get rid of it, and you can reanimate on a single turn. And conveniently, because Diviner Fates, Psychic Frogs, and Aatroxa Grand Unifier are all black cards, it does let you pitch to Grieve. So I quite like the fact that Psychic Frog and Diviner Fates are multicolored cards that also has black in it. So having said that, I'm going to be hopping over to some Timeless Vessel 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Okay. It's kind of a pretty bad hand, I'm not going to lie, but I mean, I feel like I've been mulliganing so much that I kind of want to just keep this. Uh-oh. You know what this means? Omnitel. It's an Omnitel. Nope, I don't want that. I definitely want something way better. I wonder if I'm supposed to actually just Orcish Bowmaster now. Yeah, I think I am actually just going to Orcish Bowmaster now. I don't want to like fight against the Brainstorm if they have it. And I want to put on some pressure, right? No griefs? How about this though? Actually, let's attack first. How about this though? Grief on top? Okay. Really, a Spell Pierce. Interesting. Really? It wasn't an Omnitel? And I was just getting full the entire time? Darn. Okay, you see what I mean? There is definitely some matchmaking bias here. Right? They say it doesn't exist in ranked, but yeah, I mean, it clearly does. Every time I queue up a Reanimator, it's against a Reanimator. Vice versa. When I queue up a Jund, it's always a Jund as well. Yeah, I mean... what can I say? By the way, this hand is awful. I don't know what's going on here. I have no clue what's going on here. What did I even do this game? I played an Orcish Bowmaster and that's it, right? Maybe I should have actually played the Hallowed Fountain. So that I can pay for a Spell Pierce. Yeah. Oh my god, look at the amount of lands I'm getting here. Psychic Frog was actually a really good draw. So we can deny opponents, what? Alright. I was gonna say we can deny opponents, reanimate if they want to reanimate our own creature. Because, I mean, it definitely seems like they have something. Like a reanimate or something. They keep looking at their graveyard. Oh, Soars was a nice draw. Soars was a nice draw, wasn't it? So, here's the thing. I could attack. So they have to eat how many cards? 4 cards to get rid of this. Let's attack. Soren's Ransom. Soren's Ransom. Spell Pierce, Spell Pierce. Discard. And then they get back like a Grief or something, or Harvester. Maybe I should do this. If they want to persist, then fine by me. If not, there you go. I could also deny opponent from drowning, by the way. Like, I could eat all 12 of my cards with a Psychic Frog. Soren's Ransom is definitely interesting. Into a Grief. How many lands do I have left? 8 lands left in the deck. Another Psychic Frog. Cute. A Bowmaster. A Bowmaster. Let's say they eat 3. Goes up to 4-5. And then I ditch these 2. It goes up to 5. So I guess we just attack. Right? I think this is a free attack here. Bunch of Aatroxas. No, probably Inquisition. A lot of Persist. Another Psychic Frog. Should I even play this? I guess I kind of want to block her for the Psychic Frog. Waker of the Waves is actually definitely interesting. Okay, so my opponent is a Persist deck. It's a deck with a bunch of Persist. I'm not sure they're playing Reanimate. I can just kind of assume that they are. Our deck doesn't really operate with much Graveyard Hate, but I'm just gonna assume Solitude is gonna be really good. Yeah, we actually won some Graveyard Hates in the sideboard, huh? I'll play a Test of Talent. Stern Scolding is okay. I think I'll just roll with this. Do I even cut Aatrox in this matchup? Surely not. I don't know what to do because I don't have a Graveyard Hate. I think I'm just going to cut a copy of Solitude and an Ephemerate. Is Grief even good in this matchup? Spell Snare is actually pretty nice against their deck, isn't it? Because it counters Persist. What is a good Graveyard Hate, though? Nope, it was a Reanimate, so... Yikes. We gotta find the source or something. I saw a lot of Persist last game. Would have been nice if it was actually Persist. Would have been nice. Let's go to next game. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I actually didn't want to bring in any Aatroxas. So, yeah. Let's just go with a bunch of Thoughtseizes. Let's go. Double Bowmasters. They play Subtlety. Interesting. I could technically reanimate this Grief here. Let's do it. They have their own Grief. I wonder why they didn't use it. Probably better to reanimate theirs, right? Because they have Persist. They just gotta reanimate. They're looking at their graveyard. Well, actually, I mean, if they got it, they would have used it there, I feel like. I don't know. Thoughtseize, no? Nice. Oh! Okay! Oh man, this is actually pretty tempting. What do I do in this situation? Oh man. I think we topped that. Oh, it just So tempting to just ephemerate here, but... Okay, that's fine. I thought that they would have reanimate because they were looking at my graveyard. But we have a plan here. Since we got a Cyber Siphoner coming. What do they have? Subtlety? I don't want to take too much damage, so... This might be greedy, though. Giving them a turn, like, it could be a drown here. Yeah. Oh, no! Oh, that's funny! Okay, so that's how I'm gonna lose. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, that's funny. I won't lie, that's funny. Whoops. I completely deserve that. Yeah, I completely deserve that. 100%. Yep. Wow. So... that just happened. Oh my god. That's just... that's funny. Yeah, that just happened. Yeah, so about that. I'm playing hard mode here. I am playing hard mode. Test of talent. So this is their bowmaster. Okay, let's just get that straight. That is my their bowmaster, not mine. Their bowmaster, not mine. Their bowmaster, not mine. Sure. Okay, we have to pass. Woo! Cyber Siphoner is definitely a card. It is most definitely a card. I mean, let's just grab a sword. It's like, it's just too good at this point. One up Cyber Siphoner, by the way. One of Cyber Siphoner, by the way. We can start deploying our Psychic Frog once we have 1 mana counter spell back. Which is going to be our Spell Snare. I can't believe this game. 2, 3, 4. I'm sure a lot of other people would make the same mistake, though. Come on, like... Who keeps track of, like, what's what? Right? There's no way. Looks like my opponent drew a lot of lands, as you can see. Wow. That would have gone a lot smoother if I didn't give them a grief. Ooh, that's a rough hand. This is also kind of a rough hand, isn't it? Ah, maybe I should have actually bottomed the Meticulous Archive. I don't know why I didn't bottom the Meticulous Archive instead of the other spell there. My bad. I see a Temple Garden, so I'm topping the swords. Abzan, okay. Abzan. Sure, sure, sure. Probably just take the damage here. Juggernaut main deck. This actually might be like Death and Taxes. Renegade Rallier, so they're gonna get back a land. Pretty good. Nice ramp. And a Guide of Souls. It's a lot of reanimates. Bowmaster does that accomplish anything here? I don't think so. Bowmaster, reanimate Ephemerate might. Kozilek into reanimate Ephemerate. That's rough. Cathonian Nightmare. I guess they don't have creatures in the yard, so let's get rid of that. I guess reanimating kind of sucks right now. Because what just happened? Juggernaut was pretty rough, isn't it? Nice Surveil. I think we have to get rid of Light of Souls and Renegade Rallier, maybe? No, it has to be Juggernaut, actually. Because the Renegade Rallier is gonna get back another creature, right? I'm surprised they didn't just go Chthonian Nightmare into Ocelot Pride. Let's grab an Ocelot Pride. And let's just source this Orcish Bowmaster if they do play the Chthonian Nightmare here. Yeah, kind of a rough one. Kind of a rough one. I think we are actually almost dead. We drew Ephemerates, Swords, Reanimates, and a Truxa, but we didn't draw into Psychic Frog or Diviner of Fates. That's kind of what happened here. I'll bring in copies of Unlicensed Hearse, cut some Bowmasters. Temporary Lockdown does get rid of Unlicensed Hearse, but I think it's okay. Because I think if one Temporary Lockdown comes down, we just kind of win the game. Stern Scolding is also really good. I might just cut Orcish Bowmasters. I'm sure I could have played that in a million different ways, but it is what it is. I think I grab blue and white. Okay, nothing from opponent. I think I would want another land, right? So I can play our Diviner of Fates. I actually think I want that land as well. Thank you very much. So Stern Scolding that. And we're going to Diviner of Fates, the Atraxa here. And I think we passed the turn. They went with Birthing Ritual first. Go with Grief. Both of them making double token for Chthonian Nightmare shenanigans. I think I'll just take the Chthonian Nightmare here. I think I've learned my lesson. That's such a cool combo. Right? That is such a cool combo. Right on. Get rid of that. So, where is Psychic Frog? Where is Psychic Frog? We got some good stuff going on here, but no Psychic Frogs. I wonder how many copies of Birthing Rituals and Chthonian Nightmares they play. Because they have this combo yet again. Right? 2 games in a row. Seems pretty consistent. I will take a Reanimate or Psychic Frogs here. Or actually, Temporary Lockdown actually does it too, right? It's a board wipe. How? Ask and you shall receive. They do still have Chthonian Nightmare though, so if they top deck a creature, they can still salvage. Nice. I will take another Temporary Lockdown here. Let's attack all. So by the way, they only block with the Orcish Bowmaster because my opponent does not know whether or not they're going to draw a creature, right? And there's no creature in the yard for the Chthonian Nightmare. I think we won. Yeah, I think we won. I don't think we can reanimate anymore. Actually, can we reanimate? Okay, barely hanging by thread. Their entire deck operates with 2-mana cards, so having a Spell Snare seems really good. So that was a pretty tight game. I forgot that we also have a Solitude. I do kind of want to reanimate the Aatroxa by the end of today's session, but it has become pretty hard. It's been quite difficult, actually. I'm gonna cut a Grief and a Diviner of Fate. Okay, Unlicensed Hearse. Swords, Unlicensed Hearse. I would say this is a decent hand. Out of Soul Start. Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman. I think I have to get rid of a Deathrite Shaman. Maybe I have to get rid of that instead. Reanimate. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? We got a bit punished there for, I mean, if they eat my Aatroxa here, it's fine. Right? Who cares? It does suck, but it's not the end of the world, right? It is most definitely not the end of the world. I might actually bait out an Orcish Bowmaster here by brainstorming. I take 3. I take 3 damage, and then I take extra 7 damage. So that's 10 damage. I go to 5. But I still have an Aatroxa. Like, am I gonna die there? I don't know. But I think it's worth trying. My opponent did not take the bait, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they did not take the bait there. Should I do it again? I'm gonna try to do it again. Still not taking the bite. They're still not taking the bite. I don't like the fact that they're so smart. Unfortunate. We had something really good here, but I think they got it this time. Yeah, they're even going for that. Well, this is not good, I must say. They're attacking now. Now they're sacrificing it. Man, the Juggernaut Peddler is actually just doing so much work. It's really hard to play around it. Right? Spell Snare after all this time. Spell Snare after all this time. I think I just have to pray that we get a creature on top. Not good. Yeah, I think we lost. Unless we draw like a source or something. Yeah, basically we need a swords. It was definitely a game that we could have won 100%. But they played well. It looks like this is the end of the road for me. Is there a sorcery spell that we can actually get with the Reanimate though? I don't think so. I think we get rid of a Juggernaut here. And then hope we get a Psychic Frog. I think Psychic Frog is my last resort. Wait, it actually tapped all my white sources. Oh god. Oh god. Never trust auto tapper. Okay, wow, we actually got it. We got a Psychic Frog. I must say we're still not in a good spot here though. I can grow to a 3/4 to block the Guide of Souls, but that's about it. I think we actually need a temporary lockdown again to win the game. So they attack with the Renegade Rallier, and it's going to put 2 counters. So I think we lost, right? Okay, we have 1 chance. We top deck a temporary lockdown. Boom. We're gonna top deck temporary lockdown. Everything's gonna be good. We're gonna have a good time. But they still have enchanter though. Darn. GG's. GG's. I think I should have definitely mulliganed this one. I think. Aatroxas. I mean, I got Bowmasters. Or should I mulligan this into maybe a Grief? Like, like the fact that we're going second, I think this is a mulligan. If I was going first, I would say, yeah, this is potentially keepable going first. But because we're going second, okay. Not much better. I think I'll bottom that because I don't have white mana. Thundering Falls. And they also play Lightning Bolt. Into a swamp. Huh. I think I would normally not just run out the... Wow! A Spell Snare! Okay. Did not expect that. I mean, I am main decking 2 copies of Spell Snares as well, but... Only I get to do that. I smell... a Spell Pierce. Alright. The fact that they're playing Lightning Bolt is kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Perhaps there are more useful texts down on the surface.
Like, can I afford to go down to 5 here? I mean, I guess I have swords. Yeah, I guess I have swords. Nice. We did it. First Aatroxa today. First Aatroxa today. That was sweet. Let's have some thought seizes. Are they not playing a companion? They're not. What's up with that? Are they playing subtlety? I can see a subtlety. I'm gonna have a hearse as well. Stern Scolding. Then I'm gonna have a copy of a Test of Talent. And I'll go down. Look at how many, like, 1-drops I have. Yeah, I'll go down on an Ephemerate. Okay, maybe not Test of Talent. I think I'm actually supposed to cut some swords. And a Diviner Fate. Yeah, this one looks pretty good. So we got a turn 4 Diviner Fate with the Spell Snare. And Ephemerate. Blue and black. So Stern Scolding is a little bit worrying. I think I'm just going to get rid of a Brainstorm since the opponent kept the hand like that. So lucky. Never have they ever been punished.
How am I supposed to focus on only one project?
Never punished. Insane. Actually, did they top with the Undercity Sewer? I didn't quite see that. Grief. I can go Grief into a Diviner of Fate. Seems good. They don't have a red source either. Actually, this is actually really good. We're also going to Ephemerate. There's no way to... Oh, they have a Bowmaster. Interesting. I can get rid of a Bowmaster plus Drown. Since they didn't decide to use the Bowmaster, I guess I'll do that. And I'll flash this in, and I'll Spell Snare. I thought they were gonna have perhaps a Spell Pierce. That's why I shocked this in, but I guess it worked out. GG's. Alright, so we climbed to rank 404 today, error 404. And I can say for sure that this Esper Reanimator that we played today has become a lot better compared to the one that I played last time. And that is thanks to Diviner of Fates and more copies of Psychic Frogs. So I cut the Satoru the Infiltrator just entirely because I feel like in this format, because there's less ways of actually putting cards into the graveyard, Psychic Frog by itself, I think is just a better card. Because Satoru requires cards already in the graveyard, or Satoru himself in the graveyard, so you can reanimate to draw a card. But I feel like Psychic Frog already kind of does a job in getting card advantage, plus being able to put cards into the graveyard, which is something that we're looking for. So Psychic Frog, just a better Satoru in this deck, and Diviner of Fates is also another card that synergizes very well with Psychic Frog, which we have seen. It's not an immediate card advantage, but if you have 2 copies of Diviner of Fates, that's when you can get card advantage, and at the same time, it also lets the Psychic Frog get the +1/+1 counter without going down on cards. So I have seen this tech, Diviner of Fates, in other Esper Reanimators, and after seeing it, I thought it was great, so I decided to try it out, and the card kind of just overperformed. Without the Satoru, we don't have that clunkiness in the deck anymore. Like, let's say if you draw a bunch of Satorus together, without being able to get the cards into the graveyard, you also need to draw into a Reanimate. So the card just requires too many cards to function. So I'm quite happy that there's alternatives such as Psychic Frogs and Diviner of Fates, and I think the deck has become way better than what it was before. And also, I mean, if you've seen that game with the Cyber Siphoner, to be fair, we only got to that situation because I misplayed heavily in ephemerating my opponent's grief, because my thought process was like, oh, my opponent's playing Persist, I should probably reanimate my opponent's cards in the yard, and I completely forgot that I actually reanimated my opponent's grief, and then I ephemerated grief on my side, and then it just went back to opponent's side. So we almost lost there, but the Cyber Siphoner managed to squeeze in the win by Ephemerate spamming with the Cyber Siphoner. So we've seen this combo before, right? Cyber Siphoner, grab the Ephemerate the Cyber Siphoner, but because of the rebound, Ephemerate goes back into the graveyard. Cyber Siphoner can grab the Ephemerate again, so every single loop you can grab a new spell, such as Source of Plowshare, which is what I did to get rid of opponent's grief. And yeah, and the game I lost to an Abzan Birthing Ritual deck. I think that's something that I want to play next, because that deck looks pretty sick. Opponent had Birthing Ritual, Renegade Rallier. We did have some discard spells with the Grief and Causal X together, but because they played Renegade Rallier could get back Birthing Ritual or Chthonian Nightmare. So it was actually really rough. We discarded a bunch, and then they were able to get their boards together. I think one game where we kind of clutched the win was all thanks to top decking a Temporary Lockdown. Might be a reason to actually play more copies of Temporary Lockdown in the sideboard. And versus Boros Energy, the Boros Energy win was off-screened after I finished the recording, I decided to play another game, and both of the games that I won was through reanimating the Atroxa. It's unfortunate that the other games were especially long, so I couldn't fit the last game in, but all you need to do is sideboard out some Grief and bring in some Solitudes and Temporary Lockdown. And other than that, I've been really enjoying Spell Snare. I think Spell Snare is a fantastic card at the moment. A lot of the really threatening 2-drops are things like Mana Drain or a Johnny, Raptor, things like that, right? So Spell Snare goes a long way. And versus Show and Tell, we got 3 copies of Lavinia, 2 copies of Agent of Treachery. When they Show and Tell, this is something that you can put it onto the battlefield, stealing the Omniscience. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.